Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Hoping you guys can hear me okay. So I had a little technical difficulties. I was trying to use a different platform, so I'm a little late jumping on, so I'm not sure if, it looks like we've got some people on here. So good, thanks for joining, for sticking with me. It's, hi, your love story and fire. Hi, thanks for joining. I didn't want to give up. I was like, really, I wanted to learn. I'm in the process of learning new things, and I'm like, you know what, you got to just figure it out. So, and if not, then you move on to something else. So anyway, so thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate it. I know I haven't been on as much lately, and I wanted to make sure I was showing up. And it's kind of funny. It's with all this stuff going on. Naomi, hey Naomi. I was actually gonna try doing like Instagram too, but I'm like, that's just getting too much. I'm just baby steps and going into it little by little. Yeah, so things, as much as, we've been sort of put in a virtual timeout, if you will. I feel like things have been really crazy and just busy with, it was really important to just kind of show up in the spaces that we need to be in. So I'm sure you guys can relate in some way to that. But yeah, so life kind of got a little crazy with certain things. So hi, Sam Lee, thanks for joining. So with that, I did want to, I just wanted to jump on and do some live readings, and I always get your Nev's perspective. I'm going to call you Nepi. So I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Hi. So some of you familiar faces, so thanks for joining again. So I'm just going to kind of go through some of the energies. I'll do the live readings, and my goal is to get through some of the signs here as well. So each one of the signs, just kind of go over the June energies and see what we're getting. So Mina, happy, hello, so happy to have made it. Yay, thank you for joining. I love the butterflies. It's funny too, I've been seeing them everywhere here in Denver. I don't know what's going on, but I love it. I'm just so loving the connecting with nature there. So so I did want to talk about a few things. Hi Anna, thanks for joining. Kylie, hello. I did want to talk about just some of the things that have been on my mind. I always sort of, whenever I do anything like this, and just, I never want to just come on and be like, blah. I ask Spirit, what do you want me to talk about? What's going on? What's the energies? And it's funny because I'm someone who has to have it validated through Spirit. I'm a very logical person. I need a bit of the science behind certain things, or the validation of the experiences that I've been encountering, and backed by what my guides tell me. And so there's a couple things that I just have been on my mind in terms of some of the energies. The realization that, and I posted this yesterday, but it really kind of hit me in a different way yesterday. The balancing of the energies. We have a lot of energies that are coming at us, and it's so hard to kind of figure out what's ours and what's not. Today I had a biofeedback appointment. It was random, very random, that I found this person, and I was. They basically put headphones on you, and there's a crystal in the ear, and I felt the energy pulsating where she was testing in my body. And it's fascinating because she could look to see all of the things, and the physical, it's all connected. We're all connected with each other. We're all connected energetically. So you've got your emotional body, you've got your physical body, and then you've got kind of the spiritual aspect of it. And it was fascinating because it really hit me in a way that has never hit me before. Again, I'm someone who trusts but verify. As much as I'm aware of energy, I take for granted because it's not in my face all the time. And so when we say we are one and we are connected, we all feel each other on some level. And she actually went through certain areas of my body and was able to detect the emotions that I carried in that space. and the percentage of that, like the number associated to it. And some of those emotions, I was like, I don't even, that's not mine, you know, and where we're like empaths and we take things on. And it really just hit me that like there's an opportunity for us to be more consciously aware of who's around us and the energy that we're taking on. Is it ours? Is it someone else's? And it's also, you know, kind of the projection of that energy. And so it just, again, I'm all about kind of the science. And it's funny because it was all about quantum physics, entanglement. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is the stuff my guides have been telling me to really study up on and learn about. And so it just, I'm gonna keep going through the process and the sessions, and I want to share that with you guys. Just, I think it gives people a different perspective, and this is someone who's been doing this work for a while, and it's not a doctor, but she told me stuff that I've been feeling on a physical level that if I went to a doctor, they probably would have given me a pill for. And so that wasn't the direction we took here. And so just fascinating. I'm kind of blown away by it. I didn't expect all that, but it's just amazing. And we really do take for granted the fact of what our body retains from the world around us. So that's really important, where you put your energy, the surroundings that you have. Pay attention to your body. If you're feeling off on something, it's telling you something. You have to really like, is this mine? Is it someone else's? And so that it's really important. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is, to me, is all relevant in terms of the June energies and just kind of the things that we're all kind of processing at this point. The other thing, I really I've been dealing with something that, and when I say dealing, it's more of the passive energy, right? It's been something that I've been trying to kind of process, like what happened there? What could I have done differently? And it's kind of, it gets into, you know, we talk about the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And I was in a situation where in my work where it was, there was a male and me, and we were both very much kind of working at the same level. But I don't know if I feel like it's my my feminine aspect that I just kind of like, whatever you guys want me to do, I'll just do. And I don't, the masculine, when you take aside the actual gender, if you will, masculine and feminine energies they're just very much about kind of processing aspects of ourselves. And that's what, you know, the yin and the yang, and really coming into balance with those. With the experience that I had, it was like, okay, well, is it something with women where we don't necessarily kind of we don't get the respect in some cases that men do? And I wasn't ready to come out and say it like that, but I still was like, it doesn't make sense. Like I had different, I don't want to get too much into too many details, but my point being is I made up a story inside my head, and it really hit me in a way that I was projecting. It had nothing to do with anyone else saying, oh, because you're a woman, we're going to put you here, we're going to do this. It was because I was too much into my feminine and being passive. And so it was interesting because it hit me in a different way that I'm not saying that there isn't, you know, equality with the genders and whatnot. It's more that I was more aware that I tend to sink into my feminine, be very passive. And when I step into my masculine and be in that space, I jump on YouTube and be willing to put myself out there, and in a way that I normally don't. And so that aspect of myself pushes me in a different way, whereas there's other times where I sort of sink back in and I tend to get walked on. And so I guess it's just important to know that, is it the way that we're processing things in the world, or is it really what's happening? Because it's almost like a mirror for the story that we've created. And I created the story that this is what happened and it's not fair and blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to process it, and I was actually talking to my boss about it, and it was like, wow, I understand now. And without even saying so much, it was just like, I see my role in that, and that I can't blame anyone else but myself, because I allowed, and that was me being more of that feminine. So again, it's not good or bad, it just is. And so whatever space serves you at that time, I think that was the big lesson. So I don't know if that made sense, or if I'm still probably in the mindset of trying to kind of process that. But it's really about balancing the energies, but the awareness of the space that you're in. That is probably the biggest thing I'm trying to get at in terms of with all this stuff. Like if you hear something, you feel something, you pass someone by. I mean, they on this biofeedback, it got to the point where they could even look at people I've encountered, and that I may not have that physical ailment, but someone who was around my energy field did, and I took it on. That is insane. It was quantifiable. It was there. It was data. And so point being is that it's really important for us to be aware of the energies that are around us, and kind of what comes into our energy field, because we are all energy and receptive to that energy. So so that's really what I wanted to say about that. It was probably a long-winded way, but I just feel like it needs to be said out loud, because it just hit me in a way I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, so it was a very humbling experience, definitely. Yeah, let's see. And Naomi, 100% agree. I thought about the same thing with what I was getting paid compared. Yep. And then receive more pay. I never asked that. You just said it, Naomi. You just said it. That's what it was. I'm getting chills. I never stuck out for myself, because we tend to just kind of like whatever you want. And I was just assigned a mentor at work that's a female, and she's in a very high up position, and she says we're all guilty of it, and it's just something that we tend to do. You know, somebody has to go, and there's a group full of males, and it's like, who wants to buy so and so a gift? Who's always the one to do it? The feminine energy. And again, it's not bad, but we need to be a disruptor to the roles, whether it be our anything. It could be something about like the male feminine, it could be society. And I feel like that's what this is all about this time right now, is all about processing these things of what we really need to let go of. And so again, it was my awakening. It was just something that hit me in a different way, because I never was one to be like, oh, I don't believe, I don't look at that things that way, a very hard line on things. But I was aware of how I took on some energies that wasn't serving my storyline, so I changed it. So anyway, so I guess I would just say, it's always good to look at what's your storyline, what story have we created for ourselves, how are we perpetuating that, and does it serve us? And if it doesn't, reframe it and look at it from a different way. For me, it was like, I have no one to blame but myself. So I finally was, if anyone's going to be my advocate, it's going to be me. And so whether it's you, your children, your family, anything like that. So yeah. So see, acknowledge, let go, and adjust. That's right. That's exactly right. And that's really the key. A lot of, and I guess that's what gets me. So kind of moving forward here, I don't know if you guys have been experiencing this. I personally have. A lot of energies have been coming up. You guys, the dream state. Even my husband doesn't usually have a lot of vivid dreams, but every day it's like, wow, I dreamt about this. I dreamt about this. He's even telling me these things. We're all having purging, very visual dreams right now that is bringing things up to the surface, things that need to be healed, things that need to be worked through. And so it's really important. This is happening on a larger level. Things that I was blind to are being put in my face right now. And so, yeah, everyone's agreeing. Yes, absolutely. So this is normal. I'm getting chills, you guys. I'm so, this is so good. Yes. It's all coming up to the surface, and we can choose to avoid it. But in order for us to progress, it's really time to kind of look through that. So just know that, it's all coming up. So yeah, my dreams are vivid. I'm getting visitations at night. Yep. Yeah, I've had a lot of dreams recently. Yep. And people that normally don't dream are like, what is this? The dreams, it's insane. So but it's all just kind of things coming up to the surface. And see a lot of dreams about my ex, but I think it's because I'm holding on to anger and heartbreak. And that's so important to realize that. It's so important to know. And in your dreams, it's interesting because we take out our thinking mind, right? That's why spirit is so open to coming to us in dreams, because we're not judging. We're just sort of like watching it. Oh, Isla, here, you're here. Hi. I don't know if I said hi, but hi. So we're in that neutral space, and spirit, it's their way of sort of giving you guidance, but in a non sort of confrontational or it's kind of like meditating, right? It's like meditating, but it's just a very vivid situation where if you're really receptive and open to that, you're going to get a lot of insights through your dreams. So yeah, energies are high. Absolutely. Visions while falling asleep. Yep. And so you can go deeper into those. You can really kind of process those, but that's really what's all the stuff's coming to the surface. As I'm saying that, so I'm just kind of jumping in right now to the energies that I'm feeling and kind of what spirit wants to talk about. I'm seeing that kind of release of the fire, and I'm seeing this purging. Now I know that, with the new moons and the full moon coming up, but there's something with June, and this is why I haven't done my monthlies for a while, but I really wanted to get on because it feels like there's something with June. Before I said May, I felt there's a shift coming, and we did see that. Like we're starting to open up again. Things are starting. But the other thing I feel like too, people we're tired. Wow. We're tired of the stories that are being told to us, whether it's like the media, whether it's our own selves that we've sort of put out there, or again, that's being put upon us. And so I feel like this purging of all of this, as I'm saying that, I cannot like feel the expansion in my chest, letting all these things go, these storylines, whatever these are. And it's kind of the rolling into this new, I keep getting these new beginnings, new space, but the purge has to take place. So I just feel like that's kind of what the June energies are coming forward with. And so that's really what I'm getting a lot of. So I'm going to June eclipses. Yeah. So, and we've got, gosh, you know what? The other thing too is we've got retrograde coming, and the last time we had that is when we all sort of had to go into lockdown, right? And so when we were pushed out, and then we were kind of put in time out to be able to have to kind of process things. Now it's open. Now that things are opening back up, we're coming back into retrograde. And so to me, that's very significant. There's something very significant about going back. And if you guys have noticed, I've noticed personally that there's a lot of redos happening. So if you look back to last year, some of the things that have occurred, it's almost like a redo of some of you get to change your mind this time. You get another opportunity to show up in a different way than you've ever shown up before. That is the experience I'm having. And as I speak to other people, they're kind of affirming that as well. So just pay attention for that, what things are coming back around, that it's time to make a different change, make a different decision going forward. So that's one of the things I wanted to discuss as well. So, so a couple things. I'm just going to tap into spirit right now and see if I have any loved ones that are showing up or anything like that. And then, like I said, I would like to get into individual signs, but I'm going to make it like really quick for each one, just so that we just don't cover off a lot on that. It'll just be kind of highlights for the month. So, okay, so I have this male that's stepping forward. He's been here actually before I jumped on, and he's a mechanic. I feel like he would have been someone's father, but he's, and hi, we have a few more people joining, so I'll just kind of go, and if this makes sense to you, just let me know, and I'll kind of, he's coming forward, and he's got this really dirty shirt, like he's like, I don't know if he worked, well, he obviously was a mechanic, he worked as a mechanic, but I don't know if he had a shop or what this is, but he's like wiping his hands clean too, like coming forward. And he's, I feel like he's coming forward as a way to almost like, I feel like there's some apologies, or he's kind of coming forward as the feeling of like, a little bit of regret attached to this. Would you understand this? I feel like his daughter would be here. Does that make sense? This would be a father. There might even be like a G or a J name attached to him, but that's not 100%. I just feel like he's bringing that energy forward. He's just asking what else here. He's also, I feel like there would have been a situation maybe potentially too that he would have, I don't know if he would have stepped out on your mom, or there's a feeling of like not necessarily being there for your mom to the extent that he needed to. Does that make sense for anyone? He was coming through earlier and he's still here now. And if not, I'll keep going because I do have another individual here as well. Okay. I'm just going to keep going and just let everyone know who else I have here. Okay, so I do have a female that's stepping forward as well, and I feel like I want to call her Aunt Kathy. Like there's a Kathy, or there's like she would be like an aunt to someone, and she's making me feel like there would have been two or three other girls that would have been kind of like the crazy crew that would have hung out. Like, I don't know if she had a couple other sisters or what this is, but I feel like there would have been two other females too that she wants to acknowledge here. Does that make sense to anyone? I've got all these random people coming in. Hopefully it makes sense. If not, I'll just keep going here and see. They came in earlier, so I don't know if it was someone who was on prior, but let me just keep going here. Okay. Yeah, I keep hearing the name Kathy. Would someone understand this? Kathy doesn't necessarily have to be past, but I keep hearing Kathy. Does anyone connect with the name Kathy? Okay. I know there's a little bit of a lag time here, so it's going to take a moment. I have an Aunt Kathy, but she's alive, I think. It does have one sister. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. I have to tell you, I feel like, does anyone have a connection to someone who would have passed from COVID? Because this lady's coming in with a mask on, and that's my symbol. I've connected with someone, and she's wearing a mask, and she's showing me a mask, and I feel like it's a new symbol for me, but I have connected with someone who's passed to that, and she's coming through with the mask on. So she's, let me see here. Let me just see what else she's saying. Okay, she's acknowledging, I feel like this is someone that you wouldn't have, there would have been a connection from the past, meaning I don't know if you would have talked to her recently, but I feel like this would be someone in your family member. But she's acknowledging your mom as well. So I feel like she would be connected to your mom. So does that make sense for anyone? Okay, I'm going to keep going here. So my dad was a driver, not a mechanic, but he was absent towards my mom. Okay, let me just see. Sam, do you have a brother as well? Because he's acknowledging the son that would be connected to him as well. There's a young man he's acknowledging. Okay, no two sisters. Okay, it may not be for you. Let me just see here. And this, again, I want to give the messages, because what sometimes happens is that they'll show up, and even if someone here can't take them, they'll get their message through and what they want to say. So I'm going to ask this man it feels like a father energy that's stepping forward. So hopefully the message will get to whomever needs to hear this. He just wants to apologize, and I do feel like he makes me feel like he would have been he wouldn't have been strong on his emotions, that he would have been up and down with them. It would have been the feeling of like hard to connect with him, that he didn't always show the love that he needed to, and he wants to apologize for that. He's acknowledging the sense of responsibility for some of the emotional issues that you have, and I feel like this is particularly connected with trying like the romantic in your relationship, that he wouldn't have been a good role model, so to speak, for you to know what a good relationship looks like. So he's bringing that up as well. And he's also saying, I feel like you would have been connected more to your grandfather than to him. Like it's almost like your grandfather would have been more of a stronger male role model than your father. So he's just acknowledging that. He just wants to say he's sorry, and he keeps showing me the sun, and that's just the feeling of things getting better, and the feeling of there's just it's interesting, because my sign for kind of a recovery is the rainbow, but he's showing me the sun, and this is the feeling of acceptance and just moving forward, so kind of brighter days ahead. So that's what he's giving me. So Don't know if anyone can take it or who will come in to take that, but I wanted to make sure to close that off with him. And then this female here, let me just see here. Yeah, she's acknowledging, I feel like there would have been 2 kids connected to her as well. So I feel like she would have had 2 children, or there'd be 2 children behind her. If it's not her children, it would have been kids that are like her children. And so she's bringing that up as well. And she's making me feel like, she's got a little bit of a smoker's cough to her too. She's got a little gruff in her neck area that she's bringing up here, and she's making me feel like she would have been a little bit more rigid as well in terms of her energy, not super over the top, showing up to the extent that she needed to, but she's coming in as well and bringing that up. Let me just see what she wants to say here. I feel like she wants to acknowledge, again, this feels like it's going to be someone like this. If you're coming in, this would be your mom's sister. And I just feel like she wants to, it's like saying she's sorry too, just like him. That's interesting. There's something, sometimes spirit will all come in with kind of the same energy, but I feel like there's something about not really being around and not being really present to the extent that she needed to from an emotional level with her sister. And so, she's also acknowledging her sister's husband. I feel like there was a split there and they really weren't connected at that time. And she's feeling like she should have been there more. So, I'll leave that there and keep going. Let me see here. Is there anyone else? I just want to see. I'm just going to ask Spirit to specify someone here. So hopefully we can get a message for someone here. I clearly didn't specify that at the beginning. So hi, Shauna, Chanel. Let me see here. Okay. Okay, I have an older gentleman that's coming forward, and he's coming forward with his, I feel like this would be someone's grandfather, and he's coming through with his, as he says it, his wife. Let's see, I'm telling my dad to talk to you. Oh, that's funny. I wonder, Anna, I don't know if that was your dad that was coming through, but I do have this older gentleman that's coming forward. I feel like he's coming in as if he would be like a grandfather. He's much older. And I feel like he's acknowledging that he would have been around when you were younger. So I feel like you would have known him in this life. He's not someone that you wouldn't have known. And let me just see here what he's saying. And I also feel like he would have lost a daughter, because there's a daughter over there with him as well. Would you understand, Chanel, did your grandpa lose his daughter? There's like a daughter there that's with him. I feel like it would be a daughter to him. Do you understand this? Okay. Okay, let me see. Just wanted to say you were accurate about my Ethel last life. She passed the day after Easter. Oh, I'm so glad that you were able to get that. Okay, so Chanel, okay, so I believe I have your grandfather coming in. So he did lose, so your grandfather would be over there with his daughter and his wife. So he's bringing them all 3 through, or I'm sorry, all 3 of them are coming through. And he's funny, he's got these chubby cheeks. He's coming through with this energy of kind of being a bubbly man. He's making me feel he's coming, I don't know if he was always that way in life, but he's coming through a little bit more lighthearted in that sense. And just the feeling of kind of being around and showing up. And he just he's kind of laughing at some of the things right now, because I feel like there's some things with the family that is, he's got this, he's just shaking his head. Like, I don't know if you have stuff going on. I mean, who does it, right? If you're cooped up with your family or the family drama, but he's making me feel like there's some family drama that's going on, and that it's just funny because it's a funny banter. It's not like, you know, like you have to watch your back drama. It's like, it's just unnecessary banter between each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's bringing that up. Okay. So he just, and I don't know if he would have called you by a name like kiddo or something, but he's saying it's okay, kiddo. And he's just wanting you to know that he's around and supporting you. Now, hold on, he's acknowledging. gosh, I don't know what he's bringing up. August, September. Do you have a birthday in August, September? Who would have the birthday in August, September? Do you understand this? He's acknowledging the August, September timeframe. I feel like there's something, and it may not be a birthday. It could be a celebration, but I feel like there's something coming up for you that's going to be really good. And it feels like it's going to be a new start, new beginning. And then he also wants to acknowledge your mom. Okay, perfect. So it would be your mom's father then, I feel like, or at least he's acknowledging her. That's his way of bringing her in and acknowledging her as well. But now I don't know if you're going to school or if there's something that you're trying to pursue in terms of that, but there's something where he's saying, okay, he wants you to focus on you right now. I don't know if the relationships aren't working out. Like he wants to bring up this relationship that you're experiencing, maybe a little bit of dynamics with that's not in alignment with where you're at right now. And he said, forget about it, focus on yourself right now. And that's really what you need to do. And so he's like, this is the time. He's saying that don't try to put your energy in a space that's not receiving of it at this time. Really focus on yourself and developing of yourself. I feel there's some creative energy with you too. You just finished school and no, the relationship is not working. Okay. So he wants you to step away from that because you're filling an empty cup with no bottom. It's not the space for you right now. So it's not to say that you don't have to be in the relationship anymore, but it's a matter of redirecting your energy. So and putting it in something that better serves you. He's also making me feel like there's some value for you to go back to kind of being that childlike space. Yeah, focus on goals. Yeah, absolutely. But he's saying that you're in this space where you've lost a little bit of your you miss the youth, right? Back when times were easy, when we were kids and we didn't have to worry about the things we do now. And so he's just telling you can go back in there. He's so cute. He's saying it's a state of mind. You can go there anytime. And he wants everyone to know that. That's awesome. Okay, I just started a YouTube channel on TikTok. Yeah, that's right. Good job. That's awesome. He wants you to keep doing that, really tap into that creative space because he's showing me you kind of weaving and creating a lot of things coming up. And just keep going for it. Just keep going for it. He's saying he's also making me feel that things will work out for you. I don't know if you're really drawn to the ocean or what, but he keeps wanting to pull you that way. He keeps wanting to pull you to the ocean. So I don't know if you've been wanting to go on a vacation or what that is, but he's saying like it'll be good for you to sort of get away. And if it's not literal ocean, it's figuratively in separating your energy from the space that you're in now. So that's what I'll leave you with. I just, he just wants to acknowledge that for you as well. And I don't know if you're actually, he's showing me, and again, I don't know if this is metaphor or literal, but and it could be both. He's showing me you planting something, like you're literally planting a sprout. So I don't know if you've been gardening, like starting to plant things, but I see you planting things. And so, I love nature and want to go on vacation. Perfect. Yeah. So, but he's showing me this is either new beginnings or you're actually planning things. They kind of go hand in hand, but I do see that. So just know that you're at the beginning of this new thing and it's going to grow. And so just keep going. Don't let up on it. So that's really important for you to know. Let me just see. Thank you so much for allowing your grandpa to come in here. So let me see. And I'm just going to kind of, let's see, I'm just going back through some of the notes here and I apologize if I'm not getting to all of them. But I'm going to kind of let spirit lead the way and whoever they want to give a reading to, I just have to honor that as well. Okay. Cassidy, were you saying there's a mother that's coming forward here as well. There's a mom that's stepping forward and she just says she wants to acknowledge her daughter and she just wants to, she's funny because she's not someone who would be very like, she's coming in very politely and let's see. Yeah, she's just coming in politely and she just wants to acknowledge you. She's coming in and she makes me feel that she, let me just see here. I think she's just coming in to say hi. She's just coming in to say, she hasn't, I'm asking her, is there anything else she wants to say? And she's just saying hi. I feel like this would be a mother to someone. This is her daughter though. There might be a C name attached to it. But she's just coming in to say hi. So I'm just gonna, she doesn't want to take up any time. She's very much like, I'm in, I'm out. That's fine. I want her to know I'm here. So that's okay. Um, I feel like that's indicative of her life a little bit, that she was just kind of back, wasn't always around as much. So she's showing me that as well. So let me kind of pull back and see if there's anyone else that wants to step forward here. Okay. I do have a male energy too that's stepping forward. He's very dapper. I feel like he would have been, I don't know, I'm not going to assign a relationship right now because I feel like he's just a very dapper man and he's just coming through dressed up very nicely. I don't know if this would have been someone's, let me see here. He's coming in a suit. I'm just asking him for more information and he's just kind of coming in. Would someone have lost a husband? Okay, Cassidy, that your grandma Ethel, that might be how she just sort of presents her energy as like a mother. That's why she was showing me kind of backwards, meaning that she wasn't kind of going in that space there. But so that's just her way. She's you said that she had just passed. Sometimes when they have just passed, they won't be very vocal because they're still trying to learn how to communicate and kind of going through some things there. So let me see here. So yeah, my dad always wore suits before he got injured. Okay, is your father still here or is he crossed over? Because I feel, I mean, I can definitely communicate with spirits that are still, we're all energy, but I feel like he would have been crossed over, but I feel like it would have been a while ago. Would you understand this? Let me keep going here. Okay. And you never know in spirit, like they'll just kind of pass 2 years ago. Okay. But he's also, would you understand? So you mentioned injured, and I get the sense from him that he, in his younger years, it's almost like he had two separate lives in the sense of like when he was younger, he's making me feel like he's almost kind of smoking the cigars. He was kind of like bougie or whatever you want to call it. And he's just a very put together, well, a man that's like that he just, but I feel like this was his younger years. He's showing me when he was younger. And he's, let me just see here what else he has to say. Okay, he just said cancer, and I feel like there would have been a cancer connection with him as well. So I know that you mentioned injury, but I don't know if this is for you. This might be for someone else here. So this man would have died of cancer, and I feel like he would have, when he was younger, I feel like he would have had a very different life than when he got older. I feel like he almost had two separate spaces in his life. Okay, yes, cancer. Okay, Anna. Okay, got it. This is definitely, I feel like I'm definitely with you here. Okay, and so would you understand, do you have two other siblings as well? Do you understand this? But I feel like there would have been a lot of kids around, like there would have been, but I feel like there would have been, yes, that's him. Okay, so let me just see what he has to say for you, Anna, here. Okay. Okay, and he's showing me riding in the back of a car. Like, I feel like he's like in there with you when you're driving. Have you ever felt anything? Okay, so this is definitely your father that's coming forward. Have you ever been in your car and you look back and you're like, what the, because he's literally showing me he's kind of like your buddy now. I feel like he's a buddy energy to you because he's showing up for you in a very different way than he would have in life. I feel like he had two separate spaces in this world and where he's at now. And so he's literally hanging over when you're driving and he's kind of messing with you. And I feel like he's like flicking you, but it's his way of getting your attention. And I feel like he's been really trying to get your attention lately as well. He's telling me that you've been feeling a little disconnected from certain things. Like you just don't feel like like when we're not grounded or connected, we feel like we're just sort of out there and about, like we don't know what our space is in this world. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because he's making me feel like you're floating a little bit. Does that make sense? Yeah, he loved teasing you. Okay, so he's still teasing you. He's still having a lot of fun at your expense. I mean, he's a fun guy. You definitely want him on your spirit team on the other side, and he definitely is. And it's funny. He just, as I'm saying that, I don't know if there was a funny joke about the socks or something, if he always wore like two different socks, or if there was something with his socks where he always kind of like, sometimes when men will dress up, they'll wear funny socks, but he's showing me the socks, and I feel like there's a story about the socks with him, and so he's bringing that up as well. And let me just see here. Now, okay, so do you, and your mom is still here, is that correct? Because he's making me feel this feeling of needing to go back and reconnecting, the feeling of needing to go back in that space and reconnecting. He was always losing his socks and saying they were still okay, because he's laughing about the socks here. I'm like, what's the funny? I'm never like, okay, so he's just bringing up this feeling of kind of going back a little bit and connecting with some family, and particularly your mom. I feel like he wants to give your mom energy and connect with her as well, because he's telling, would you understand that emotionally you and your mom may have not always been on the same playing field there? Like there would have been some, like he would have been more of your connection than her, like there wasn't emotionally the connection there. He's making me feel like there's a misalignment there of the energies, and he just wants you to kind of take this time now to have that reconnection. There's something about connecting with her on a deeper level now, because he makes me feel like she really does love and care for her children. So he's just bringing that up. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Maybe it'll make sense later, but he definitely wants to talk about that as well. And he's also acknowledging that, I don't know if you would have been close to his parents, but he's saying that they're there too. So he's bringing them in just to say hi and let you know. I feel like in particular, I don't know if you, when you were younger, would go to your grandparents' house, but he's bringing them up as well, as to just kind of say hi to you. So he just wants to give you love. And my mom took care of him and she was a nurse, and I'm really, okay, you're really close to your mom. Okay. For some reason, he's making me feel like there's something with your mom though, that providing her emotional support or being there for her at the time, or at this time. So I don't know if things are getting heavy for her, what that is. But one thing, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of what he's giving me. So not necessarily that you and your mom don't get along, but it's the fact that when you're around her, because you're very empathic, and she is as well, you guys, there's an energy that you pick up on, and you might find sometimes where it's almost like you guys pick up on the good and the bad. And so just be more, be aware of that and what happens there, because, okay, he loved his parents. I'm crying. He's at peace with his parents. Absolutely. He wanted to, he just was like, they're here with me. Don't, just so you know, he's bringing them in as well. So yeah, so I'm so glad that made sense for you. But he just wants you to know, I'm getting chills right now. He's just acknowledging and confirming this as well. So he does just want you to know, be aware when you're around your mom, because you do have this energy alignment with each other. And I feel like there's some things with her that she's going to be going through, or is already going through. There's no time here. So when I see it, I don't know if it's current or will happen, but I feel like you're going to need to be a little bit more of an emotional rock for your mom, but hold your space for yourself. So kind of like what we were saying earlier here. So okay, perfect. So thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for validating that. That sometimes you have spirit coming in, you never know what they have to say here. So So I am going to go ahead and go through the signs really quickly. I'm just going to do the cards here and just see what we've got. And let's see. I've always felt I'm empathic. Yep, I'm worried so much about him. We're both depressed because we took care of him together. Oh, okay. So that makes sense what he's trying to say. Just be more aware of that. He really wants to give you a lot of love, and just know that he's watching over you guys too. He's watching over you. Gosh, you know what? I feel like I have more to say to you, but yeah. So maybe we'll maybe reach out to me, and I just feel like he has some other things to say that probably wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, I would probably like to talk to you a little offline there. So. Okay, so yeah, so thank you for allowing that your energy, your father's energy, to come forward here. So let me just see if there's anyone else here that wants to, gosh, I want to give so many readings, but I also want to get into the individual. You know what, I'm just going to jump into these, Spirit sign to just jump into these, and then we will, let's see. Anna, you can just send me like a message on Instagram, or like I'm at mediumonamission@gmail.com, and we'll connect. Your dad definitely wants to, has a few more things to say here. So, okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and push my screen down here so you guys can see the energy or the cards. And so I'll just start with Aries, and we'll just kind of go in and see what we've got. So what does Spirit have to say for Aries for the month of June? Okay. All right, Spirit. I'm just going to, as I do these, I just kind of will ask Spirit for any sort of information and just see what, I want you guys to see the cards here. So, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, oh. What were we talking about at the beginning? Perception. This is all about perception. I would not be shocked if we all don't have some, oh wow. So, and it's so crazy here. We've got these two people looking at each other, and it's all about the perception. So I feel like Aries, for you, for the month of June, this is really about kind of the way you perceive things and what's really going on. And so just kind of encourage you to look at that from a different perspective and see what we need to work on or change our storyline. So that's amazing that that's kind of the energy. So we'll go to Taurus next, and I'm just going to do kind of rapid speed here just to make sure we get through them all. So Taurus, happy belated birthday. I hope you guys had a good birthday. And let's see here, I just want to make sure to shuffle them well. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Taurus for the month of June? All right. Okay. All right, lessons. Yeah, that's kind of like we're all going through it right now, right? So we've got some lessons that are coming up. There's going to be a lot of purging. That's kind of that release. And so it's all about kind of, and this to me, lessons really come in the form of people, right? So that's why you see all these people with blurry faces. You can't see who they are. It's not about the people. It's about the lessons of the people that are coming into your life. So throughout the month of June, and really from this time on, just be really mindful of those lessons and those things that are coming into your space and what you need to know in terms of healing some of those energies. So I'm just going to make sure to shuffle these up really well. All right, so Gemini. So happy birthday, Gemini, for all of those celebrating this month. All right, well, I guess you're all going to be, well, some of you will be in June or May and June. So, okay, what messages do you have for Gemini? Okay. I feel like there's some energy with another female too, that there might be some things you're working on with a friendship or trying to kind of go through and figure that relationship out. You might be kind of moving away from people that no longer serve you. Let's see, endurance. Okay, so I mean, this to me is all about, there's something about with the space that you're in right now, kind of learning through those enduring relationships, those things that are in your life that have stood the test of time. And I feel like this month is a defining moment for you to kind of look at your life and say, what is worth keeping going for and what's not. And again, I feel like there's something to do with a female energy that might be strong in this. It might even be that what we talked about at the beginning, where it's the feminine aspect of yourself, where you really need to pull it back a little bit and balance those energies, because it may not be serving for you and the path that you're going forward, and it's kind of reshifting of those energies. So, all right, so that's what I see for you, Gemini. So we'll go on to Cancer. Okay, and for Cancer, the first thing I got immediately was a change of scenery. And so I don't know if some of you are actually moving or what this is, but I literally see you getting in a car and driving. So some of you might be taking a road trip. Some of you might be like, sometimes when I see the cars too, that's kind of the metaphor for our physical body and making changes. You might actually be doing physical work and doing like going and being more physical and getting your body in shape. But I feel like that's coming as well for you. So that's kind of some of the energy there. So, what messages do you have for Cancer for the month of June? Okay, transformation. Yes, I love it. I love it when Spirit gives me the insights and then I pull the card and it's like, boom, yes, that's exactly what they're saying. So you're the butterfly, you're transforming. So this is really this kind of moving forward, going in a different direction. Again, this might be physically moving forward too, like you might be physically going someplace. But I feel like this is it's kind of that getting in a car and moving forward, and it might be a change of scenery. It might be your physical body. Again, sometimes when Spirit mentions like a car repair, it's actually your physical body and you're working on it. So that's what I'm getting for you, Cancer. And so Leo, let's see, Leo, what we have here. Leo, I feel like with you guys, there's going to be something with romance for you this month. It's going to be all about kind of reconnecting with romance, and I'm getting a lot of the sacral chakra energy, and I just feel like there's going to be some reconnection, and it's just going to it's almost like loving in a new way, loving on a new level. And so I feel like that's really important for you this month. Feels like it's going to come into your energy field a lot. So just want to make sure to shuffle them really well. All right, Spirit, what messages do you have? Okay. All right. Shine. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So this is all about, to me, when they bring up kind of that sacral, those lower areas, to me, this is all about kind of stepping into your power in a different level. And this is really where you shine, right? It's where you kind of owning your connection, your energy. And this could be kind of that balancing again of the divine feminine and masculine of yourself, but it's really stepping into the balancing of all energies to be able to kind of shine on a different level. That's what I'm seeing there. But I also feel like there's a relationship coming in for you. So if you're already coupled, then this would be a deepening of that relationship. And that's where it's almost like for you, Leo, there's something to where when you are in that space of love, that energy of love, that's where you really shine. That's where it's like the Leo, the lion, and that's where that's the sun, right? That's where you just feel so empowered. So that, I feel like for you, Leo, there's something with love that really drives you in a different way. So I feel like that's going to help you to shine in June. So, all right. So Virgo. Okay, Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo? Okay. All right, some of you for Virgo, I feel like there might be something, someone where you're helping them out. I actually get older, it's almost like a grandmother energy, or the feeling of helping someone out, maybe kind of doing stuff for someone else, volunteering. It might be I feel like it's a month of service for you. So it could be service to your family, it could be to your community, but I feel like it's going to be a month of service for you, Virgo. So I just feel it's a very noble thing that you're doing this month, and you're really kind of showing up in a different way, and it's going to feel really good for your energy, because it feels like you're putting your own needs aside this month, but you're really doing it in a way, but it's still meeting your needs, because it's like, you're being very you can't help another without helping yourself. And so that's really what I see for you, Virgo, here. So let me just pull a card and see, Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo? Okay, be bold. All right, perfect. Yeah, and so I just feel like with this is really you kind of stepping out and really, again, you might be putting yourself out there in a way to help other people that, you know, I'm actually being shown an image here where, you know, sometimes we kind of sink in ourselves because we're like, no, they don't need our help. Like everyone's good. I just feel like there's something where you're going to kind of lose yourself in the service of others. It feels like that's really what it is. And it's really stepping out in a way that you haven't done it before. So not to say that you're not helpful or do anything like that, but it's almost like you find a new sense of purpose through this. And it's by stepping out and being uncomfortable. And I just have to say that right there, because that's, I just noticed that. Be bold and I mean, that's your whole solar plexus. That's all that, going out, stepping out, doing things, putting yourself out there, the drive, the will. That's, to me, that's amazing how those two were together. That's my symbol for that. So that's amazing. Okay. I love Spirit and how they show up. It's amazing. All right. So Libra, let's see, Spirit, what messages do you have for Libra for the month? Okay. Libra, I just have to tell you guys, I feel a little bit of, for you guys, I feel this feeling of a little retreat. And I don't know if this is like, it's almost like kind of going and taking care of yourself, and a retreat in the sense of like working on yourself this month. I mean, I think we all tend to do that, but there's something about going in the next layer deep. So you might actually be doing some more studying or reading up on things. And it doesn't have to be school in the formal sense of like education. I mean, I do classes every week, but it's not, there's no formal education to it. But I feel like it's like this feeling of stepping into this energy where you're just taking care of yourself, like on a mental, physical, and emotional level than you've done before in the past. And it just feels really good for your energy there. So let me just see, Libra. Sorry, I want to really get these pushed in each other. So, all right, Spirit, what messages do you have for Libra for the month of June? Okay, health. Okay, yes. What did I say? You're taking care of yourself in a very different way than you have before. And so I just feel like this is all about really focusing on yourself. And you can't be in the space of self-care and working on yourself without really going through that health aspect. So I just feel like that's all goes hand in hand, but it's the mental health, it's the physical health, the everything, the emotional body. So yeah, that feels really good for your energy for this month, Libra. So all right, Scorpio, let's see what messages we have for you for the month of June. Okay, Scorpio, when I connect with your energy, I feel there's some healing that you might be doing with the masculine energy in your life. So this might be father. There might be some things that you're working through with your father. And I just feel like there's going to be some reconciliation and again, reconciliation doesn't have to be like someone saying, I apologize or anything like that, but you're processing the energy that you've experienced from your past in a very different way than you have before. So I feel like expect some of that in terms of the male influence in your life and having those change. So let's see here. What messages do you have for Scorpio? Okay. So breathe. So we've got, this male influence that's coming in might be an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But the message really here is about breathing. And I have to just say this too, just because I had this male coming in. So if it's not an air sign, this to me, if you can see there's a face in the clouds. Pay attention for signs from your loved ones as well, because I feel like there might be a male influence in your life, and maybe someone that's maybe someone's father that's crossed over, that's also helping you from the other side to heal through some of this masculine energy. So they don't necessarily have to be there, but this is coming in for you big time. So again, this father is either here or crossed over. So, and I keep saying father, it could be anyone that's like a father, but I do feel that. I mean, sometimes spouses or boyfriends, they think they're fathers to us. So just be aware of that as well. So, all right, so Sagittarius, let's see what messages we have. So we have the Sagittarius full moon coming up. So that's going to be bringing up a lot of stuff in terms of the Sagittarius energy. It's funny because I almost feel like the PMS, like the kind of going crazy, the feeling of losing it a little bit, but in a good way, because it's like shedding of some layers that are not serving. So don't be surprised if your emotions are going up and down and you're kind of in that space of just being all over the place, because I do feel like that's going to be that might be occurring for you there for this month. So spirit, what messages do you have for Sagittarius for the month of June? Okay, yeah, subconscious, there we go. So some of these things, I mean, this is all what the Sagittarius full moon, it's coming up. It's these things down, and you can see that's the cave, right? That's the deep layers of the cave there, that's subconscious. And so things might be coming up for you that you're processing them in a different way that you haven't before, and that's leading to kind of some of the emotional disturbances that you're experiencing. But it's good, just feel it to heal it, let it come through, and it'll really be for your highest good. So all right, Spirit, what messages do you have for Capricorn for the month of June? Okay, Capricorn, I feel like there's something with you where you're really kind of connecting with the youth of yourself. There's certain things where it's like, you know, putting aside our adulting hat and just kind of having a little bit more playful fun. So I feel like there's more fun energies that's coming in for you, and that it's just going to be in a space where you're a little bit more playful. And so it just feels like it's going to be a really positive month for you in terms of, I don't know, I just hear the word optimism. Like, I feel like there's going to be some optimism coming in for you. So, all right. Okay, so rewire, yes. Okay, so to me, rewiring is all about changing our mindset. And so whenever it's really about the way that we look at things and kind of reframing things. And so it's fascinating to me if I'm kind of looking back, thinking back at the readings we've all had. They've been kind of similar in terms of the energy, but I'm not surprised it's kind of the astrological influence. But there's something, I don't know if you're going to start doing some like meditations or some affirmations, but I feel like, again, this playful, fun energy that's coming in for you, but it's coming in as a result of you looking at things differently, and you sort of rewiring your frame around the way that you see things. So that's pretty awesome. I just feel like they keep getting better here. So so Spirit, what do you have for Aquarius for the month of June? Okay, I'm getting a female influence around you. This feels like a mother. Feels like there's something connected with a mom. I feel like there actually feels like there might be a partnership too. Like it may not have to be a business partnership, but I feel like there might be something where, gosh, it could even just be as simple as going and like redoing your house with your mom, or shopping with your mom, or connecting with your mom emotionally. But I feel like that's going to be happening for you. I feel like that female influence is coming in for you, Aquarius, and it's going to just be, it's going to feel good. It just feels like it's going to be good having that connection with her. So let me just see here. We're kind of going back through some of the memories as it relates to that feminine connection here. So envision. Okay, so to me, this is the other thing that this is saying here, is that for some of you that may not be in a situation where you have that connection that you want, you can also kind of put your energy into what you envision it to be. It's interesting because they were also showing me this feeling of like, when you interact with someone, it could go either way. Put out the intention of it being a positive and it being a good experience, and you're going to get more of that. So it's kind of like when we say, oh, here we go, like when you expect something from someone and they kind of like, just go into it with a positive expectation, and it's going to work out for you. So I feel like that's kind of the general message for you there. Trust it, is I just hear trust it. So, all right, let's see what messages we have for Pisces. Okay, so Pisces, I'm getting like a garden. I feel like there's something with a garden. There's planting of things. There's new beginnings. There's new energies that are popping up for you. But I feel like you really have to water your garden, and you have to tend to it. I feel like there's certain things that you have to make some decisions. When you go into plant a garden, you have to decide, what do I want to put where? I need to make sure that they're in the right space. They have, it's the stuff that I want. How are they going to grow? So I feel like there's some planning that has to be done on your part for what is coming for you. Like you can't just, throw darts at a wall. You have to really be clear on where you're going with it. It kind of goes back to that envision thing, but you have to kind of set it out there in terms of what you're trying to achieve here. So really quickly, okay. What messages do you have for Pisces for the month of June? Okay, spring, yes. So to me, the spring is all, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Spring is all about, to me, it's where you have all these, it doesn't necessarily have to be literal. You could have started this in the spring. And now we're kind of, it's still the spring technically. So we're not in the summer space yet, depending on where you live, I guess. But this to me is spring. It's all new beginnings. It's things popping up. It's beautiful plants and just all these flowers that when you're in the space of a winter where everything kind of dies, and in the spring it all comes back. So that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, perfect. All right. So let me see here. So I don't know if anyone's still with me here, but I think that was amazing. All the messages there from Spirit. So all right, let me see here. All right, I'm just jumping back on. Let's see. All right, so, okay, Virgo, so on point, stepping out, pay the helmet. That's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. Let's see. Thank you, Heather. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Open-minded, but just can't seem to buy someone to sell me. Albert Draper, can't see. I got you on this astrological stuff. I totally hear you, because I know what you're saying. But I sort of go with Spirit, and I was like that as well. But I've had too many things that I felt, and then it was validated through the astrological influences. So in my experience, I'm aware of it. So anyway, so but yeah, just you have to test it out. You have to test it, work with your guides if you have that connection with them, and just really learn about it. I'm actually kind of switching over from the Western to the Vedic astrology, because I seem to think it feels like it's a little bit more connected there. So anyway, so thank you guys so much for joining. I so appreciate it. It was so nice having you. I love the little community of people that come in, and some new, some returning. I just thank you guys so much, and I want to keep showing up in any way I can, and encourage you to do the same. So yeah, Carrie, and that's funny though too. I just realized the daffodils on the spring is Pisces. That's March. It just occurred to me. I'm a Pisces, so I sometimes I don't interpret that always, but I miss those obvious ones. So anyway, so let me see here. So I think that's it. So thank you, Mina. Cassidy, it's my great grandfather. I think with your great grandfather, if you're seeing signs from him and he's communicating, trust what you're getting from him. Sometimes they won't come in directly if they've already got a connection with you, although he is showing me a pair of glasses. So there's something symbolic about the glasses. He just flashed those really quickly. So I'm not sure what that is. It feels like there was round glasses, or there would have been glasses, or that's your kind of message to look in deeper to the information that's coming in for you. So yeah, so awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. I so appreciate it. You guys have been amazing, and I'll just kind of keep doing it as time permits. So everyone, I hope you have an amazing night, and happy Memorial Day, and take care of yourself and others. Have a good one.